If you like our content, consider supporting us on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/segabits. Hello and welcome to Sega News Bits. I'm Barry. With me is George.
Hello, everyone.
And it's been a while. And this isn't exactly news, so you guys know the Genesis Mini is out, and we do have a review on our site from Flair Habanero. He took a deep dive. It's a very, very articulate, very long review that I think the console deserves, because, you know, when this thing was first announced, George, I was first excited. I think you were too. And then we learned more and more, and it was at games. And we know what at games are capable of, which is not much. We also know that they are able to create hardware that resembles a Genesis. So really, it was sounding like Sega was just kind of working with them to create a Genesis Mini. And we saw the prototype model. It had what appeared to be an SD card slot. Maybe that was like a prototype model, something like that. But I really feel like the one we saw at that reveal is not the same one that we're holding in our hands today. And I truly think, and you can weigh in on this, I truly think it's because of fans like us and others being vocal.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did not like the direction that At Games has been going for a long time. Like, they haven't really cared about the quality of what they put out. I feel like they were trying to make as much money and put it in like general dollar stores, right?
Right.
And trying to get those people that remember the Genesis and they want to buy something really fast and quick for like $40.
Right.
And Sega decided to pull this back and be like, no, there's an actual market for hardcore gamers that like these mini consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I mean, you could hate them all you want, but like, Nintendo really did show that if you put time and effort into your mini consoles, that the hardcore gamers will come. And I'm hoping that it works out for Sega. I know other companies are trying the same thing, like SNK.
Right.
But, and Konami with the TurboGrafx 16. But
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how good this console or mini console feels. Like, just looking at it, it's basically a mini Genesis, but the colors are a little different, I think. Like, the pink.
Yeah.
It's too pink, right? It's like the Japanese pink.
Yeah, they didn't exactly nail that, but I mean, everything else, the build quality is great. And we learned, this was a tweet from September 22nd from John Anderson. It said, the factory in China that manufactured the Genesis Mini and several other Sega consoles was revealed a few months ago during a live stream event from Japan. The company is WKK in Guangdong, and their display case reveals their manufacturing history. So this is the place that made the Master System light gun. They made I think these are the 5200 controllers for the Atari. I might be wrong. But they look like Atari pads, actually, just like, but they're black with an orange button. So maybe that's the later ones, like the Darth Vader console. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something else here, I can't really see what they are on the top shelf, but of interest to Sega fans, they manufactured Dreamcast pads, VMUs, the Dreamcast itself, the Saturn pads, and what I believe is the Genesis 2?
It looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you surprised they went back to a company that used to manufacture actual Sega hardware?
I am. I'm very surprised, but at the same time, it's like, if you have these working relationships and they're still in business, use them, you know? And honestly, I'm kind of surprised this isn't something they pushed a little more, because it really shows that this thing went from being a cheap plug and play from a third party to really something they brought in-house. Now, I know M2 is not owned by them, but M2 is pretty much, you know, like they've worked so much on Sega games, porting Sega games, that, let's be honest, they're essentially a Sega's company, like a Sega developer, you know, more or less.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's really cool. You know, I got my hands on mine. I think the build quality is excellent. I haven't played the system itself too much. I maybe put 5-10 minutes in. But from what I saw, the menus, the music, all very good. The UI, user interface, very nice. The game selection, I think, is good. There are some weird oddities like Virtua Fighter 2 and some odd omissions, like I think Rystar should be on it. What do you think? What did you think of?
Yeah, for sure. You're right.
At least of the game selection.
I mean, we did a whole episode on the game selection, and my only pet peeve was Virtual Fighter 2 on the Genesis. I think that's like a wasted thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all complained about the 3-button controller, and we know why that happened, but I do want to give it to the Sega social team for doing more of those interviews with developers. I really, really like those. I know they did it for the Genesis. They did a Sega Genesis re-release on the PS3.
Yes.
They had interviews with developers. My only pet peeve is they did not interview Hideki Sato, the guy that created or basically worked on the hardware for Sega for since the Master System. Mm-hmm. And I think he's a very important person in Sega history. I'm surprised he didn't. I thought it would have been cool to do little documentaries on exactly that Chinese factory, saying look, this is where we made all these other Sega units or Sega controllers, and go into it and look how it's manufactured from the beginning to the end. Mm-hmm. But like they said, the Sega community team is very small right now, so it's not like they could do that. But it's just little things like that I wanted to see. But I love the unit. I think it's great. I think it's finally time that we have this, and it separates itself from At Games quite a bit because it's actually good.
Yeah, and I'll just say that when I got mine in my hand, I was just expecting to open it up and be like, all right, finally got the Genesis Mini, hook it up. But there was a moment, I will admit, where after having seen that picture from China and knowing about how much the development had changed and shifted to make it, it's a Sega console, right? Like a consumer.
Yeah.
We've been asking for one for years, but it's a consumer console with games. You plug it into your TV, and the thing is there's new games on it, so you can't even say that it's just a bunch of old stuff. There are things that were legitimately made just for this. So Sega, so Sega has released games exclusive to a home console manufactured in 2019, and so getting this in hand was very cool. I also actually, and I have my video up here so people can see it. I'm not just talking now. You can actually see me. And this is what we look like, too, when we do our Sega talks. So this is the Storage Box Mini. I got this today. And it's a cardboard box that looks like a Mega CD. And you pull it open, and there's about enough room to put one controller, which is kind of a joke. But at the same time, it gives you somewhere to put your controller, at least. And that's cool. And then the other thing I got is the much coveted Mega Drive Tower Mini, which is in a very cool box. I haven't opened it yet, but it's got the Sonic 1, Sonic and Knuckles 32X, and the Mega CD. And this was $40 on Amazon Japan. Amazon Japan. Yeah. They shipped it on a Thursday, and it arrived at my house on Saturday. So that's amazing.
Just wanted to ask you one more question about this whole thing. Are you surprised at the positive feedback that most sites gave this? Because I felt like for a while when they were previewing it, when Sega released those early units, maybe 2-3 weeks, a lot of those YouTubers were literally just making negative videos. So we didn't get a review copy, or unit, so I didn't know if they were right or not. And then all of a sudden, the mainstream press came out and they actually praised it. Are you surprised about that one?
I'm not, because the only negatives to really lodge at it are some, odd game choices, but there's 42 games on it. And the audio lag that, I'll be honest, I don't notice. And I do think there are a few YouTube channels that are trying to exploit it to make themselves stand apart, to be like, we're the ones that hate it. We're the ones that are really picking it apart. And I watch their videos and I'm like, I hear it, but when I play the thing, I don't see it. It doesn't affect me at all. I don't know, maybe...
Somebody was telling me about how, IGN will praise it, but, that's what bothered me, right? When you saw the IGN's, the best mini console release, but... And it's can you imagine if when the NES Mini came out, when there was like, this is the best, well, it was the best Mini at the point when it came out.
Yeah.
But then they're saying like, but with a lot of problems. Like, I never saw that when they covered other units. And I know that the TG16 is going to get bashed really hard.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that it got big reviews. Even IGN gave it a good review, but they had to put the but, right?
Yeah.
Where they had to say something negative. The big but.
But, yeah, that's my big butt too. But no, you know, they do what they got to do. I mean, honestly, this is for people. This is for, you know, the average consumer. You know, you're going to get this for Christmas and be like, oh yeah, I had one of these as a kid. But what's great is it also targets the hardcore fans like us, and I think we're pretty happy with it. I mean, we haven't really dug into it too much, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the accessories. I ordered the carrying case from Japan as well, and I got the Retro Gamer magazine here of the Mega Drive Mini, and I also ordered the Famitsu issue. The one negative I have is that Sega of America is doing kind of a bad job in terms of promoting this, in the sense that I don't see any magazine covers in America. You got Japan and Europe with at least one magazine cover. They also really should release the tower to retail. There's this thing called Sega Shop that would be perfect for a limited run of these, and be like at noon we're putting it up on the shop, and there's going to be like, do a pre-order and be like, as many as we sell we will produce, you know, something like that.
Yep.
But instead, you know, as some people know, they've been sending them to YouTubers. We did, I mean, I don't know if
they did offer us one.
They did offer us one, but we told them to send it to a different site that's much more deserving, which was, I don't know, like, it was kind of hard to say that, I'll be honest, but it's going to be you and me being jealous of the other one, because you're going to go like, oh, I want it, and I'll be like, oh, I want it, you know, and it's like, that's not what it's about.
For sure.
I don't know, like, when it's something that nice, it feels really shitty for one of us to, like, hate the other one, you know.
But, there's nothing, I mean, anything else you want to say about the Sega Genesis? This video is like already 13 minutes.
No, that's fine.
So.
I'm happy to edit a 13-minute video if it means, you know, we get to talk about this, and because this is probably the last time we're going to do a video on it. So
I think so, yeah. Unless we do a video on something like maybe the near future when the thing is hacked. I might be doing videos on it.
Okay.
So maybe what games are worth putting on there when it's hacked, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And as mentioned at the top of this video, which I sneakily edited in, we do have a Sega Talk dropping as well, where we are going to talk about one of the games on the Genesis Mini, and that is Castle of Illusion. So you can look for that. We're actually about to record it, so we don't know how well it's going to go.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Hopefully we have some actual Sega news, bits.
Yeah.
And you guys enjoy that. Catch you guys next time.
Bye.